Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel, Tarot by Bronx. This is Tarot Talk. These are Tarot Things, and I'm your host, Boogie down Bronx, and I'm here to take care of the Sagittarius, Sagittarii. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This reading can resonate for you if you have Sagittarius as a sun, moon, rising, Venus, north node, or south node sign. Quick shout out to my Patreon. This video was not released early access. Well, I haven't decided if I'm gonna release it early access, but I have my other videos that I released early access. If you're wondering like where certain content is, it's usually on my Patreon first, and then I'll release it to YouTube. So if you ever want to see your videos, let me know on the Patreon and I'll post it on there first before YouTube, because I have been seeing people get very impatient lately about my content. And I've said this in the last 3 or 4 readings, is I'm not a full-time YouTube reader anymore. I have Patreon, I have Twitter messages, I have Instagram, I have my spiritual shop, which is where I've been focused on mostly. Y'all have been really supporting, and I thank you so much for that, for buying out my oils and sprays. So, you know, I only upload on YouTube about 2 or 3 times a week at the most. So this is, you know, this cycle, and then we'll go into the other one. But the good thing about my readings are they're timeless. So you can go back and watch it. It's not for a specific month. Even if it's released during Leo season or whatever season, it's not just bound to that month, okay? So with that being said, let's see, Sagittarius, what you got going on, what you need to surrender, signs, all that good stuff. Let's flip for these cards. Flip, flip, flip. Okay. So you have the first card here. You have surrender to effortlessness. Stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. Okay. And then you have ancestors pleased. It's so funny because literally in the last reading I did, which was Cancer, we had ancestors displeased. So if you have Cancer and Sagittarius placements, you must be like, which one is it? Are they pleased or displeased? So ancestors pleased. And then you have mommy issues. All right, so we got to look into some of that stuff. What mommy issues we got going on here. Mommy issues can definitely be in regards to your self-confidence, your self-worth, or your body image, things like that. You have smoke visions. For some of you, I see, when I first saw this card, I thought of incense. Like some of you may be thinking of getting more into incense, or you should think more about getting into like cleansing, whether that's candle work. It doesn't have to be like spells or rituals. It can just be like getting more into cleansing your room daily with sage or frankincense, whatever you want to use, incense, anything like that. And then you have beard, maturity. So Sagittarius, many of you guys are maturing right now. All right, but there's still something that you are pushing to make happen for yourself, or you might be too focused on pushing it, and it's giving you the opposite of what you want. So let's look at my everything deck and see. I cannot wait for my actual deck to come in, because I turn this into, you know, a real deck on like real cardstock type paper or whatever paper they use for tarot. So I can't wait to use it in my readings for you guys. But let's see what you need to like kind of back up off of. Basically surrender and just let it happen. What is this in regards to for Sagittarius? What they need to give some breathing room, give some space in order to see the best results. But for many of you, you are like, you're growing, you're maturing. A second chance. Some of you are really pining for a second chance in regards to something or somebody. Tell me more. What do we have for Sagittarius? Recognition. Okay. Tell me more for Sagittarius. What is it that they need to be more effortless? Loyalty. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm getting some downloads as I'm seeing these cards. Okay. I'm understanding for some of you what the scenario is. Tell me anything else for Sagittarius in regards to what's effortless before I tell y'all what I'm seeing. Okay. So there's a situation for many of you Sagittarius where you're thinking about how in the past you might have been immature in regards to like the way you handled it. So this could have been in regards to a job that you lost or a job you walked away from, maybe because you weren't at a place where you could handle that type of job, or you weren't there yet. For others of you, this is in regards to a relationship, or maybe you weren't as loyal as you could have been in regards to a friendship, a romantic situation, or it's like you put your loyalty in the wrong places when you had a little less knowledge about yourself, about how you navigate relationships, things like that. But I'm seeing like this period for you is like a very much maturing time, and you guys are really thinking about, oh my gosh, like it's kind of like you might have like these flashbacks of like cringing moments of like, I can't believe I acted like that. I can't believe that's how I was. That's what I did. Okay, and now, so you're trying to, some of you are trying to make up for that lost time, or make up for that energy where you were not showing up as mature as you wanted to, or you played games, you know, you lost something, and you're like, oh my gosh, I did not realize what I had back then, and now I don't have it anymore, and now I have to get it back. For some of you, you're really pushing hard for a second chance. For many of you, you're trying to manifest a second chance in regards to a situation where you learned, you matured, you improved, you worked on yourself, and you're like, man, I wish I had another opportunity like that to prove that I can be loyal this time, or I can commit, or I can do this, that, and the third. So it's like, you know, some of this could be coming up from some mommy issues, where if you had issues with the mother of always needing to prove yourself to your mom, or, you know, look for validation, recognition from your mom, or it's like, you know, something along the lines of either you didn't have a good mother role model, or it's like there was a lot of pressure from your mother to be perfect, or, you know, there's perfectionism there. And so now you're maturing, you're learning. You have name starts with an E, F, O, or P. This could be any of your initials here, or somebody that you're connecting with. And for others of you, it's you're really pushing for this recognition. Like you want to show people that you've matured, that you've improved, whether this is like your family, your friends, an ex, whoever it is. It's somebody around you where you're like, I want them to see how much I've grown. Like I want people to see, because it's like you look back. I just keep getting like this glimpse of somebody looking back and like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. I acted like that. I did that stuff. Okay. And so, you know, maybe there's more creativity now for you, and you're realizing like different ways that you operate. All right, and then you have angels and spirit guides. So your angels and ancestors, spirit guides are very proud of you for the ways that you are maturing, and the ways that you're realizing how you've grown, really, and how you want to show up. All right, and then you have forgiveness. That's the last card I want to get, and then we'll look at the tarot. But it is also a matter of you needing to forgive yourself for the shortcomings, for the things that you could have done better, because you're not going to always have a second chance to prove yourself. The cards fell off the table. To prove yourself, or you won't get that chance again. And for some of you, it's really hard to accept that, man, I won't have that chance to prove to this person again, or to show them that I'm this way now, and you know that's not who I really am back then, whatever. So it's like some of you are having regrets, it feels like. What else is coming towards Sagittarius? What's coming towards Sagittarius right now in regards to this energy? Coming towards Sagittarius. Okay. So, you know, you live and you learn, basically. You live and you learn with the Sun card, Leo energy, Aries energy, strong fire, and Capricorn. Some of you are very attached to what you've lost, what you could have done better. Okay, Devil card is about obsession sometimes, and what we're lacking, and obsession over what's lacking. And Five of Pentacles is about feeling rejected, or, you know, not having that recognition or loss of some kind. Some of you are doing a lot of reflecting on the opportunities that you've sabotaged, that you've messed up, that you did not handle with care, or the things that you couldn't have known back then, or the things that you just didn't know how to do. Okay. And so, you know, it's just making you feel like, you know, if I would have done this differently, if I would have been more out there, outgoing, if I would have been more available, if I would have been more committed, maybe I wouldn't be feeling like this, or maybe I wouldn't be alone. You know, sometimes we realize like we're just, as we get older, we're like, we realize how our behavior has affected the people around us, or, you know, our immaturity, our lack of awareness about things is like, could have led to the detriment. Of course, it's not always your fault, but for many of you right now, now that you're more mature, you're like thinking like, man, I really messed up some good opportunities, or I missed out, you know, and that's where you're at right now. But that is not the right way to approach the situation, because you have the Emperor, you have the Queen of Wands, you have the Sun card, and the King of Swords. All this energy is very much being disciplined about your future, and knowing that everybody has situations in their past that they reflect on and they're like, oof, I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I acted out of character like that. I can't believe I did those things. And then it's like you tried too hard to make up for it, and it just doesn't flow naturally. But, you know, everybody has regrets. But one thing I will say, the people who are meant to like return, everything happens for a reason. If it didn't happen the way it did, or you didn't lose certain people, or you didn't feel like you missed out on the opportunity, you wouldn't have actually understood the lesson in the maturity here and understood what it was trying to show you. So know that anything that, you know, you've learned from this energy to this is could have been how you started, or how you were like a few years ago. Page of Swords in reverse, now you're the King of Swords. You could have air in your chart as well, but Page of Swords in reverse is very immature. It could be very gossipy, jealous type of energy, you know, like does a lot of talking but not a lot of action. So now you're more thinking in terms of action and talking, like you can back up what you're saying, versus before you may not have been like that. You might have just been saying a lot of things and not always meaning them. But you're learning, and therefore you can approach it. So you know, try not to not feel too bad, because, you know, I'm not telling you how to feel, but try not to get too caught up in this energy of, if I would have been more like this way, I wouldn't be where I am at right now. Like, I wouldn't have lost these people. And maybe that is the case, but anybody that's meant to come back is going to come back. Anything that's meant to come back around, people are going to see you in the light that you are now. And so, of course, you're not going to be able to always prove your worth and how you've matured and how you've grown to every single person, but it is possible for some of you to do that. And again, it can come back to the mommy issues as to why you feel like you need to prove yourself to these people so bad, or why you want to prove something so bad. All right. Strong Leo energy, strength card here, inner strength with this situation. So now let's look at a bit of the advice for you. What is the advice for Sagittarius at this time? What is the advice for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, South Node at this time? Six of Swords. Whoa. It's like it went back up. Six of Swords, Temperance, that's you. What's the advice for Sagittarius in regards to this spread? Two of Wands. What's the advice for Sagittarius in regards to this energy? Five of Swords. You know, it's kind of like you have to take the L's, take the losses. Everybody has things that they feel like lost about, and close up those old cycles. All right, you live and you learn. That's the motto here, honestly, truly, because you have the World card in reverse. So there is a lack of closure with certain people, certain energies. Some of these people you can actually reach out to and talk to if this is like you want to apologize, if you want to just have a conversation, or get some closure. There are certain cycles that need to be closed up here, but the energy is saying move on, move forward. Okay, there's certain things, certain people that, you know, it was a different time, different era. And also something to remember is people aren't as egocentric on us as they are on themselves, you know? So like you're thinking heavily of like your flaws, embarrassing moments, things you could have done differently, stuff like that. People don't think about it as emotionally as we do. Okay, they might just, you know, it might be like a passing thought. It's not anything that's stuck in their brain. So just know that you're the one really thinking about it in the capacity that you are. Other people are really not thinking about it like that. Okay, because everybody's thinking about themselves. So you can move forward in a way that it's like you learned the lesson, you've matured, you understand what you can do differently, and you're going to stick by that truth. And there's going to be some people that try to pull you backwards, and they try to say, well, you know, you still messed up, you still did this, you still did that. Try to stand your ground with those people, because they will make you feel bad or make you feel like the old you is still the current you. And no, you've changed since then. Okay, so you gotta close up this old cycle here and, you know, say, I'm gonna officially move forward. I'm not gonna live in regrets. I'm not going to like just be living life on autopilot. I'm going to focus. I'm going to think about what I'm doing, lead with love, find that moderation energy with the Sagittarius temperance right here. Page of Cups, Knight of Cups. This is leading with your heart this time as well. And just focusing on what's most important, which is, you know who you are now. And just because in the past you may not have been that way exactly, it doesn't mean that, you know, you can't change. People can change all the time. And it's like, we all do things that we're embarrassed of, that we're not proud of. And we grow from it, we learn from it. And sometimes you can't make up for it. And you just have to accept that and forgive yourself for that, and know that that's not who you are. You don't have to have that label on yourself. I talk to you guys a lot about limiting beliefs and labels that you may put upon yourself. All right. This is a new time, learning new things, learning new ways to be productive and how to think about yourself in the best way possible. And then you have the Strength card here again, but it's in reverse, Leo energy again. For some of you, learning a newfound confidence and really tapping in, like looking, if you do have those mommy issues, this is a lot of where this energy is coming from, of feeling guilty or feeling like you have to prove something now. Okay, so working through that and knowing that your ancestors are pleased with you, especially if you're taking accountability. That's awesome. All right, so thank you so much, Sagittarius. This was the last video for this round of readings, and I'm gonna take a little break and be on my Patreon. So thank you so much. I hope this reading resonated. If it resonated for you, let me know in the comment down below. I am at Tarot by Bronx.